whatever situation there is. And I ask this in all your precious name. Amen. All right, I'll call the April Planning Board meeting to order. I'd like to welcome all those in attendance. We do have a quorum. We do have an absent crew member, and that's Jordan. She did communicate with me, and I communicated back with her. She's not going to be here under the circumstances, having a baby, and as far as I know, the baby's still in the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this time, we would call an alternate to serve, which would be Josh to step up. Also want to add this, that even if you're not where you can vote, you can discuss. You can have your input in the discussion. So, that's what we're here for, is for everybody to have their input on what direction we go in. So I just wanted to mention that. So we've got our alternate. I guess at this time I'd ask everyone to review their minutes.
You approve Jordan's absence.
Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I ask for a motion to approve Jordan's absence. So we got a motion from Ivan, and we got a second from Patrick. All those in favor by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? There is none. All right, if we'll take the time to review the planning board minutes. They were right lengthy, but we discussed a lot last week or last month. Does anyone see anything? I didn't find anything when I read through them. They are kind of lengthy.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
All right, we have a motion to approve the minutes as written. We have a second. Any further discussion before we vote? There is none. All those in favor of accepting the minutes as written by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. All right. We have no public comment tonight. So we move on to any correspondence for Sheila?
No.
Alright, so we're gonna get with new business, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the proposed changes to the Mobile Town Code, first. So our last meeting, there was a couple of questions, and I had printed out, Josh, I appreciate you keeping a list of action items for me. That really helped out, and I had printed it off, but I forgot to pull it off the printer, but I got everything here that I need. So we were discussing, chapter 3 of the town code, related to, the speed limit. Well, so I guess you see the email from Joshua Hollis. He responded back to my questions. He stated that the town does not need to list speed limits all through the code if it is just relying on the normal state law. It can simply refer to the General Statute 20.141. But the town, if we want to, we can keep in what we've already got in the town code. So the question would be, do we remove it? And I also have some examples of what we would add. We would add to section 302 related to the North Carolina Department of Transportation. They regulate the speed limits. They determine, through engineer studies, what the posted speed limit needs to be through town here. So, I got these two examples here that I put together, and I can read both of them if you would like. Considering adding these two sections to our current code, and what's everybody's thoughts about, do we take out the verbiage that talks about the speed limit and how many miles on a certain road through town?
I think so. I think it's unnecessarily confusing.
Yeah, I'm kind of like Josh.
And it can change.
Right.
It's just, I see no benefit in a lot of that. No one's going to look at the town code to see what the speed limit is.
No. So what's everybody else's thought? Anybody else got any?
It's just remove it.
Okay. And then, is everybody, are you good with adding the two items I have listed where it says pursuant to General Statute 20-41D1, North Carolina Department of Transportation shall, on the basis of an engineering and traffic investigation, determine whether the speed limit established is greater than is reasonable and safe under existing conditions on any portion of a highway outside of the corporate limits of a municipality. It shall establish and declare a reasonable and safe speed limit. And then there was a second section to that general statute. That's the D2. The North Carolina Department of Transportation shall, on the basis of an engineering and traffic investigation, determine whether the speed limit established is greater than is reasonably and safe under existing conditions on any portion of a highway or municipality, and shall establish and declare a reasonable and safe speed. It's pretty much relating to the general statute. I took and kind of rewrote, I took some of the language out of the general statute, but kind of simplified it a little bit.
We have to, we don't necessarily spell it out, can we just reference?
Yeah, we can reference it, we don't have to spell it out that way. I just
reference it.
okay, all right. Is everybody in agreement that we just referenced the general statute 20-141? All right.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing as that general statute changes, so too will our town code change too.
Yeah.
To always be
Yeah,
accurate.
so it's probably best not to have it.
I don't think that would change that much.
Make a note here. All right, we're gonna move. All right. So moving on to the next item. We had discussed about the low speed vehicles, mini trucks and modified utility vehicles. Last time, we looked at the general statute related to golf carts, and because our speed limit's 45, the speed limit would have to be 35 for golf carts. So we wouldn't be allowing golf carts on 64 here, but I think we need to add a chapter 9 that references low speed vehicles. And I've got that listed on that page I sent, and we can change this. I just think we need to add a chapter 9 related to low speed vehicles, section 901. I put the purpose, and then the 902 I referenced the general statute, and probably need to reword that and just say something simple like reference general statute 20-121.1 for low speed vehicles instead of going all through and listing out. Does anyone disagree with me or agree with what I've listed out for number 3 on proposed changes to the Monroe Town Code?
Okay, so just to summarize, you're saying instead of listing out each individual type of vehicle, just have like, can you repeat what you said? Sorry.
That's okay. No, I kind of rambled on, I guess. Looking at adding the chapter 9 related to low speed vehicles, that would include the mini truck modified vehicles, pretty much what the general statute lists out. I made that section 902, I pretty much took some of the verbiage from the general statute related to what vehicles are used and what speed limit zone. Do you think what I have listed here is what we need to go with, or should we just strictly stick to listing out, referencing the general statute for that?
I'm all for just listening to general statute.
Listen to.
Same principle, just changes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have to go back and rework it.
Okay. Everybody
Yeah,
agree with that?
because it was really, I remember last time we were talking about the general statute, I'm looking at it now and it has like different requirements for like headlights. And
Yeah,
it has, like,
it does.
I'm scared that would be missed if
It
people
would
would just look at
went-
this and be like, oh, well, I have a UTV, I can drive 35 miles an hour. It's like, not quite.
Okay. That's what we're here for, to discuss it. Alright, that takes care of the items I had for the town code. Did anybody else have anything else that they reviewed on the town code that we need to discuss? That they saw that we may need to adjust? Alright. So I've started making some of the adjustments to the town code. What I'll do is, work on getting everything that we've discussed and decided, updated in here. Sheila sent me the town seal, I've already got that added to this document. I'll make the other adjustments, get completely noted what's been revised. We'll get a printed up copy and we can review it at our next meeting. And if we all are good with what's in there, then I think we're at the point where we can pass this on to the town council and let them start reviewing this, the changes we've made to the town code. All right. Moving to the next item we discussed at our last meeting, related to where our commercial zones are listed out as neighborhood business district and rural business district, versus what our map shows. Our map shows commercial. I reached out and talked to Adam Tyson a little bit. Well, I actually reached out to Joshua Hollis on this. About the commercial district versus the business district. If you look at the email, and he said there's not a required legal difference just because the names are different. The real difference depends on how the town writes the district rules. So what he's referring to is how we describe the commercial district, and then if we have development standards, we have development standards listed in the that are in the table of uses that goes along with whatever the use is for commercial. So, he did say that it does need to match. The map and the districts do need to match. So, I guess that brings us to the discussion of, do we keep the neighborhood business district as is listed in our ordinance and the rural business district, or do we change them to a downtown commercial district and a rural commercial district? And that would be in the ordinance again on page 13. I'll give everybody a chance to kind of read over the verbiage there. current map has downtown commercial, which doesn't match our districts we have listed out. But based on what Joshua Hall said, the name itself, they need to match, but the language we have for the actual district is what's really important. You want to talk about that? My thoughts are to change the districts in the ordinance, leave that downtown commercial. We don't have a rural commercial district as of right now, but
We don't really have a downtown commercial district either.
well, I guess if you consider, we technically don't have a downtown strip district, just like commercial, like Nashville would have, or Spring Oak.
Another thing is that it's spread out. I mean, our downtown commercial district goes from one end of town all the way to the other end of town, just about. It's
The
got
whole town's
1,
downtown.
2,
But I'm,
3, 4 sections that we're calling downtown commercial. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Either we change the map, or we change, leave what's in the ordinance, What matters is the language that's built into the actual district, so.
So the wording stays the same. It would be the title that changes.
Right, and we would change inside that first neighborhood business district.
Okay.
You would have to change the C neighborhood business district, but everything else would stay the same.
I agree with matching the map. Just have it downtown, commercial and rural commercial.
Anybody else got any thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, the ordinance is for the ETJ too, and so in that regard, maybe the rural business would apply more to the ETJ,
You do have a point there.
and the downtown would apply more to the town.
Yeah, it is something to consider, because when we developed one of those land use plans, we were thinking about the crossroads down there.
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody wanted to buy one corner that could put like a service station or something like that? So I can kind of see what Josh is saying.
You said what you said again, Josh.
Yeah, I said, like, we have a neighborhood business and a rural business. It could be that the neighborhood, or which we would change to the downtown, we would change the neighborhood to the downtown. It could be that the downtown business district would apply more to the town, like the strip. And that the rural business district would apply more to the ETJ, entire ETJ.
No, I understand. It takes me twice.
So if we keep the neighborhood business district like we have it, and just change the map, then these districts, the rural business district, could work in the ETJ. Because we do switch it to it'd be a rural commercial district.
Are we gonna change it to rural commercial and downtown commercial? What was you saying?
Well, that's what we're discussing. Do we change it? I mean, we would have a rural commercial district that would apply to the ETJ, as well as, that would actually regulation would apply to the ETJ area, rule. Patrick, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll go on that, just
So,
changing the name, so I'm just changing the name in the code, right?
right, we've been changing the name in the code to be a downtown commercial district, and then we will do a, rural commercial district.
That way we're matching that.
I like commercial better than business.
Yeah,
I'm like Googling the difference.
okay,
And it says commercial zoning typically designates land for retail offices and services located along roads and neighborhoods. But business districts typically refer to concentrated, high-intensity downtown areas for offices, retail, and corporate hubs. It sounds like commercial is more what we have. It's not like Sheila was saying, it's not like we have a strip of like highly concentrated
right,
strip malls.
right.
It's more of like, you can have commercial lots in the general area.
All right, so general consensus I'm getting from everybody is we're good with changing the ordinance to the C district to be downtown commercial and then the CE to be rural commercial. Is everybody good with that? Alright. Let me back up a little bit. I missed bringing up one item that, one of the items we discussed last time was about the definitions related to abandoned and derelict vehicles. I mentioned that to Joshua Hollis, and he came back and said, yeah, the town probably should include definitions or clearly refer to the state definitions it is using. I did check our definitions and compare it to the general statutes, and we got pretty much every one that's in the general statute, so we're good on the definitions in our ordinance related to abandoned and derelict vehicles. Alright, next item. Next item that we discussed that we had an action item on was the industrial district we have and adjusting it to be light industrial and adding a general industrial district to relate to the propane bulk storage location and the pulpwood industrial zone that we have in the ETJ along Old Franklin Road. So if you look at what the proposed change I've got here, discussed this with Adam Tyson through email. I think that's included. And then I talked with him a little bit. So I took what we had for light industrial, and reworded it and kind of added some things in it. So I've got that listed in this proposed changes, and then also I came up with a general industrial district that I'm proposing that we add. So basically, we'll be taking the industrial district we have now, changing it to light industrial, and then adding a general industrial district. That general industrial district would cover the propane and the pulp wood place, and then light industrial. We still got to discuss the property where the old Bass Gas used to be.
I like this a lot. I think it solves the issue we talked about last time where the ones that are currently zoned industrial that are supposed to have little or no impact on adjoining properties has a pretty substantial impact on adjoining properties.
So if you'll notice, I added, it says these uses are typically, let me read it from the start. I know everybody can read it, but I'll just read it. So the light industrial district, change some language to it. The LI light industrial district is intended to accommodate light industrial, assembly, fabrication, wholesale, warehousing, and similar uses that by their nature have minimal adverse impacts on adjoining properties and surrounding areas. These uses are typically conducted within closed structures and generate limited noise, traffic emissions, or visual impacts, particularly when appropriate landscaping and buffering are provided. Outdoor storage, when permitted, shall be incidental and subordinate to the principal use and shall be screened to minimize visibility from adjacent properties and public right-of-ways. So you can compare that to what we already have in our ordinance. So what we currently have in our ordinance reads this way. The I industrial district is intended to accommodate those light industrial, wholesale, warehouse, and other uses that by their nature have little or no adverse impact on adjoining properties and surrounding areas, especially when sufficient landscape buffering is provided. These uses will minimize outside storage. So, what is everyone's thoughts on? Do you see anything that is in this light industrial that we need to adjust? I know last time we had what the county had, if anybody wants to hear what the county's got, I think I got that here in my packet stuff. So here's what the county has. Theirs is not, it doesn't say a whole lot. It says the light industrial district is primarily intended to accommodate limited manufacturing, warehousing, wholesaling, and related commercial and service activities which have little or no adverse impact on adjoining properties. Now, what I kind of took and worded it, one thing that this one doesn't say is it doesn't say anything related to commercial and service activities. I know, Kelly, you live close to that property, so I know this would, if we do end up changing that, I mean, it's already, obviously, you're living next to it now, so I know you said that there's some noise in the mornings.
Well, Wes can accommodate, he told everyone to meet the other night, he said, I can tell you what time they get up every morning, I mean, when time they go to work, I can tell you what time they come in every evening.
It was at West Bass?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, since he's just got moved on
Right.
there, he can even hear it at his house,
Okay,
yeah.
so.
But I mean, it's not something that's annoying, it's
Okay.
just that you kinda get used to, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, it's 6 o'clock at night, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know how many gears that truck's got?
I mean, that brings up a good point though, that like, if we make these changes, right now they're industrial, right?
They're commercial.
Okay, so.
Well, actually, the front part of that lot is commercial, but the back part that they just cleared is, that's RA, that's RA, residential agricultural, so.
Would we request that they change their district or?
So if we decide that we wanna change that, if we're gonna change it from commercial to light industrial, then it'll have to be, they have to be made aware of it, it'll be posted, we'll have a hearing on it.
Yeah, okay.
Property owners will have to come.
I have a very, probably a stupid question, statement. What if you just left it just like it is right now?
We
You don't make
could,
no changes,
yeah, so we could leave, you talking about leave it commercial?
just leave everything just like it is. I mean, what purpose are you going to accomplish to change it with all that you got to do to change it?
Well, I think the main thing was that there was a mismatch between the map and the ordinance.
Well,
We have districts in the map that don't exist in our ordinance.
well, no, what she's talking about is if we change it from commercial to light industrial.
Oh, I thought you were saying changing any of this.
I was making the statement, making any
Making any
change.
changes, yeah.
Because normally, what a normal thing is, people come to you, to the town to make a request for a change. This is where the planning board is kind of what you might say upsetting the apple cart, asking them to change. I'm not saying he's doing a major change, but it's a lot of things to go through to make the change that we're talking about making.
Well, as far as the public hearings and stuff, that can be done at the same time that we do the public hearing we have to have for changing updating the ordinance as it is anyway.
So,
That could be included.
so as far as the downtown commercial and the rural commercial, we would be making that match our map, okay?
And that was advised by Josh, right, that we needed to do that.
We needed, he said we needed the map and the zoning districts, we need to match in the ordinance. As far as the industrial goes, whether we change that property, let's look at what our commercial district lists down here.
Well, you also have to look at too the whole aspect of another reason we're doing this. If somebody were to take us to court and want to put an industrial thing in the field over here, they can say, oh, well, you've got an industrial complex right down here down the road that you ain't got that labeled right
Yeah,
either.
that's right, yeah.
It's labeled RA, commercial, it's not labeled industrial, so why won't you let me put mine in over here where it's RAT?
Are there any, maybe this is a dumb question, but are there any reasons why someone would want its own LI versus commercial? I mean, other than like what you can do?
Well, it doesn't really fit that, does it?
Well, yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that like they're not gonna have a different tax rate, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Like really the only change would
Commercial
just be what
downtown is a different
they
tax
can
rate.
do, right? Like what's permitted in the zone.
Right.
And I mean, I guess that, that I could like maybe that's something they get upset about is, oh, well, if you change me to this, I can't do this, which I could do if I was this. I mean, maybe they'll get mad about that, but I mean, it looks like the LI has a lot more flexibility, honestly, so.
Well, if we read what the commercial district, it says established to promote a limited range of retail, office, and service-oriented uses and to promote commercial development separate from residential development as a primary shopping and service areas of the town. The city district is typically located with access to the main streets within the community and to discourage any land uses, particularly more intensive uses, which would be detrimental to the character and purpose of this district. This district is intended to be located in compact areas or fairly uniform dimensions, as opposed to stripped out along roads and areas where there are no intersecting streets.
Well, that last sentence you read, as opposed to being stripped, is for character purpose of this district is intended to be located in compact areas of fairly uniform dimensions, as opposed to stripped out along roads in areas where there are no intersecting streets.
So I guess what we're gonna consider is if we do, well, first, should we update the industrial districts within our ordinance to have a light industrial and a general industrial? I guess that's one question.
I am in favor of that, yes.
I am too.
Because if we leave it like it is now, going back to what she was saying about lawsuits, none of the areas that are zoned I right now fit that description. Like, all of them have adverse impact on adjoining properties. So we need something, like if we're gonna do industrial, we need something to accommodate places like the propane area that would definitely have adverse effects, like adverse impacts. I mean, I think so. That's my opinion.
All right, any further discussion on that? Colleen, Iowa,
Sounds good to me.
all right.
And these two will replace just the industrial, right?
That's right. So what we just decided was to add a light industrial and a general industrial. All right? Now, the next thing we need to agree on is, I came up with what's on this document. It's not gonna hurt my feelings if we want to change some of the language in it, okay? So, I'd like everybody to think about the verbiage of light industrial. Do we need to add anything? Do we need to take out anything?
Well, my only thing with it is we're to talk about the enclosed structures. Property surrounding areas, the use is typically conducted within enclosed structures, which that's not what. I mean, if we decide to change the one down the street.
So that is something that, you know, and I took what we had and then
Cause I believe in one of the town's light industrials, it said it was mostly an outdoor, didn't it? On the light or general industrial.
What's this typical?
the general, let me see.
But I
That
thought
could or could not be.
the light industrial was like warehouses, like, that was my understanding is like if it's a distribution center, everything's inside the building, There's not a lot of stuff stored outside, it's just, everything's kind of
I
confined.
don't have it with me, but when I was talking with Adam Tyson, I think I had it. Let me find. So many papers here.
Wilson has the light industrial and heavy industrial. And their light industrial says it includes warehousing and wholesaling activities with limited contact.
Why can't we just make this fit inside and outside? Why can't you go?
So,
That's what I was saying,
Just
I didn't
ask-
have a problem with what it said, but it said with the wording, because mostly what Marshall does is
So-
outside stuff. I
So
mean,
what
he doesn't really-
Adam Tyson told me with the county is, I think they classify it as a, I wish I had wrote what their county development table of uses was. Let me look that up.
You got it in that, that's what you put into the new one that you sent us.
I know, well, we had some of those. We
I know it's
already had,
highlighted is what I'm saying, the ones you
yeah, I know,
sent
some of
us.
those we already had, but I can't remember exactly.
I've got, oh, I just got one page in that.
Well, could you just change that sentence?
Yeah,
Say
yeah,
that
we
it
can,
could be
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was
closed
saying.
or
You put in
outside.
the contractors, no outside storage, contract.
It would be
General
special
building.
trade, it was special trade contractors, what Adam said, they would classify an excavation contractor too. So going back to what I have here, so let's see, these uses are typically conducted within road structures and generated within walls. Outdoor, so we got outdoor storage when permitted shall be incidental and so ornament to the principal use. Alright, let's see.
It was in your last sentence in that paper, you said, heavy construction contractors are defined as firms engaged in large scale infrastructure projects such as highways, bridges, tunnels, water systems, and dams.
I
Key
mean, I would,
aspects of, go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, you go ahead.
Key aspects of NC heavy construction contractors, projects focus on public infrastructure, earth moving, grading, paving, roads/runways, bridges, rail systems, and marine constructions.
So let me see how we should.
Highway contractors cover grading, paving, bridge, isn't that what Marshall does?
Yes, yeah, I looked it up. He does earthwork, paving, that kind of stuff.
So you're saying to add the special trade contractor to the table of uses?
Yes, and I think,
So then you would have to come up with a description to put into
right,
the table of uses.
that's the second part of what we need to go through tonight is we add the light industrial and the general industrial. We gotta go through these table of uses here for, industrial manufacturing uses. And we gotta determine, do we wanna allow these to be permitted? We're gonna have to change some of these. I didn't change any of these. I wanna let us talk it through. We're gonna have to decide what we allow as a permitted use and what light, do we put it under light industrial or do we put it under general industrial? that's something we're all gonna have to review and go through, and then also we gotta agree on the highlighted ones. I think I added, I think,
The contractor one.
yeah, contractor ones. I think we had the ones that were highlighted, the one that was in green, and I didn't print mine out in color, but,
It's on page 13.
yeah.
No, excuse me,
14.
14.
So, I think, before we get into that, let's see if we can hammer out the light industrial district, verbiage here.
I think it looks fine, it's just that outdoor storage thing is the only thing I was questioning.
Well, so the first sentence says, these uses are typically conducted within enclosed structures and generate limited noise, traffic, emissions, or visible impacts, particularly inappropriate landscaping buffer are provided. Outdoor storage when permitted. So we do have something about outdoor storage. May need to reword this.
Yeah, 'cause it says it shall be incidental and subordinate to the principal use. That's the only part of it I question. There is an opposite problem in the rest of it, and there may not be a problem with that, but.
Wait a minute here. So we could say outdoor storage shall be permitted provided it is incidental and subordinate to the principal use and the screen to minimize visibility from adjacent properties and public right of ways. Does that sound better? Mhm.
Could you repeat that? Sorry.
Yeah, so outdoor storage shall be permitted provided it is incidental and subordinate to the principal use. We need to take that out, because the principal use for them would be, if you got somebody that's got heavy equipment, they're not gonna store it inside, so.
Yeah.
I don't think that's that bad. I think it's like, if you have a distribution warehouse, and you decide you wanna put storage containers behind it, you know, that's not really subordinate to the principal use of the warehouse, so that wouldn't be okay. I think that's what it's trying to say, like, as long as the storage, as long as the outdoor storage is like for the business, for what the business is doing, it will be okay. But if it's for something that's not even part of the business, that's how I read it.
The opposite of incidental and subordinate are terms like essential, principal, chief, primary. Storage.
Would you put essential to the primary operation?
Here's another way you could say it. Outdoor storage is allowed. Outdoor storage is allowed provided it remains incidental and subordinate to the principal use and is screened where necessary to minimize visibility from adjacent properties and public right of ways. I think we may need to take that incidental out. It may have too much in there.
I mean, do we need to even have anything about outdoor storage?
Yeah, because if you look at what the county has, and if you look at what we have now, what we have now doesn't, the only thing it says is these uses will minimize outside storage. The current industrial zone we have.
I'm just worried that having that part in there about outdoor storage being permitted if it's subordinate to the principal use, that's a really
Yeah, it could,
broad term.
yeah, it
It
could
could be like, oh, well, I have a small little, earth moving consultation business, and then put like 10 excavators behind my house and be like, I'm just storing those. They're subordinate to the use of my consultation company.
Yeah. So, I think we need to take that outdoor storage and the incidental, take that out. Let's see how this says. Let's see.
But I think the previous sentence kind of captures it. These uses are typically conducted within enclosed structures. Generate
noise, traffic,
limited visual
impacts,
impacts, particularly landscape. I mean, that kind of covers it. I don't know.
So let's just take a general contractor and, they're gonna have leftover materials, they're gonna have a yard. I mean, if we take out the outdoor storage, it still would allow them to have that in the rear part of their, do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think so.
That,
It's not, I mean, like, that sentence before that is basically, most of your business is gonna be inside. You should have limited visual impacts, and whatever you do have should be covered with landscaping and buffering. If you do have stuff outside.
Alright, so I'm gonna take the last sentence out. Alright, is everyone good with the light industrial district? Alright, let's take a look at the general industrial district. Now, I'll read you what the county has. And I want everybody to really look at that, because I kind of pulled some things and looked at some various things, and one of the things that, and when you go with general industrial, you can have some businesses that are, utilizing like hazardous chemicals and stuff, so I have something in there about that, so let's take a good look at that, but I'll read what the county's got. The county has a general industrial district. It says, the general industrial district is primarily intended to accommodate a wide range of assembling, fabricating, and manufacturing uses. The GI district is established for the purpose of providing appropriate locations and development regulations for uses which may require special measures to ensure capability with adjoining properties. Which, in this one I've got, the general industrial district is primarily intended to accommodate a wide range of assembling, fabricating, manufacturing, processing, storage, and distribution uses, including rail-served industrial operations and bulk material handling activities. The GI district is established for the purpose of providing appropriate locations and development regulations for uses which may require special measures to ensure capability with adjoining properties, particularly those involving outdoor storage, rail access, or the handling of large volumes of raw materials, or potentially hazardous substances. Such uses shall be designed and operated in a manner that minimizes impacts related to noise, traffic, dust, safety, and visual appearance on surrounding areas. I may have it too wordy.
I like yours way better than theirs.
And see, we're gonna have to put some development standards together. That'll be another part of this, is we put some development standards together. That way we, if we're gonna allow an industrial district, you're definitely not gonna have it right up against a residential district. You're gonna have it off, out, away from a residential district, and you have development standards for it, so. Anybody else got any other thoughts?
I think that's fine.
Okay. All right. Next item. Brings us to the table of uses. So you can't tell it on this document, but I added a LI and a GI to the end also noticed I removed, there was an R3, column here, I removed that from this document. We decided we were gonna remove the R3 zoning district. So what we really gotta do is go through and choose, like for light industrial, what are we gonna permit and what are we gonna do as development standards.
So for the LI section, is that just what used to be the I section?
Yes,
Okay, so all the Ps and S's and Ds are the same?
right,
Okay.
right. So I didn't change anything except change the title at to LI, and I added a blank section for the general industrial. Which I'm not. Yeah, we did this such a long time ago, like the first section, like accessory uses and structures, customary caretaker dwelling, we had, for
I
some
think that
reason,
needs to change.
we had development standards, I can't, that's been so long ago. I can't see where you would actually have, like caretaker dwelling, you're not gonna have that in an industrial
No.
location, so I think that needs to be blank. Does everybody agree with that?
Well, I mean, it needs to be blank in the OI, the C, the CE, and the LI, but I don't think you have a caretaker dwelling in any of those sections. I mean, would you?
Maybe that's something I need to ask about.
So when you go look at the, cause I was looking at that, it says, a building permit for a principal building must be obtained by the principal use. The number no more than one caretaker dwelling unit shall be permitted per lot. A caretaker dwelling may be a modular home. A caretaker dwelling shall have approved sewage disposal setbacks according to NC building codes. I mean, all of that right there, none of that I don't think would be in any of the districts that is saying it's allowed in. That would be behind somebody, like Colleen, where she put the trailer behind her house for her mother to live in. Or, Brian, if your mama got bad off, you would put a building behind her, you know what I'm saying? It ain't something you put in an office or a commercial district,
Right,
or an
so,
industrial district.
so, with that being said, does everybody agree that we should take the development standards out of the O and I, the C and the CE for caretaker dwelling?
Then where would it be allowed?
Yeah, that's a point.
We would
We
have
take
to
it
add
out
it
there.
to somewhere, otherwise.
Let
we'd have
me
nowhere.
look up on our ordinance what we consider. Is that what you just read, Sheila?
Yeah, that's what I just read to you.
It was it's in the thing she handed out
It's on
too.
page 27
It's on
in
page
the current
27, yeah.
ordinance.
Yeah, the one she read.
It's in the, yeah, I printed it out for you.
Yeah, I've got it.
Cause I kinda went through and I compared what was already here with what.
Well, I wrote a note. Wrote myself a note that we may need to adjust that to residential, but, let me-
I would think it would be in like the RA or the RAE. And the what is it, we're doing R1, R2s?
but that would, and that would be a special use permit. So it.
Well, here it's use permit by zoning by development with development standards is what we set it up as in the class where it would never be. I mean, I can see where it could be either one.
No,
I'm not saying I don't agree with you, I'm just saying I can see where it would be either one.
Your situation that you went through, you had to go to the county and get a special use permit, and then it had to be renewed.
Or no, there, ever how long they did it,
Okay.
which was 18 months.
I know we discussed that very situation when we went through this a long time ago. Is that what we referred to as a caretaker dwelling? Not
I
necessarily.
don't remember that, using that word.
No,
I really don't.
I know some of this stuff was adjusted when. Yeah, I was thinking we had a different one for like, if I had.
I think you did like that accessory apartment or something.
Yeah,
I
it was
can't remember.
accessories. Let me see if that's in here. Just to see what. What's down here.
Okay, it says a caretaker dwelling is a single-family residential unit, detached, attached, or integrated, located on the same site. This is not what this is not considering like, well, that doesn't make sense, but I guess it should be in the industrial, I take back what I said. So the caretaker dwelling is a single-family residential unit, detached, attached, or integrated, located on the same site as a commercial, industrial, or public use such as park, school, or business. It is occupied solely by a person employed on site for security, maintenance, or supervision. So evidently I mistook what caretaker was talking about. That's talking about like a security guard.
Okay.
So perhaps that does mean just know what it is.
We need to leave it in LI.
Yeah, I mean, from what that reads, we probably should. That's not like you're
Yeah,
taking care of an elderly person. That's the way I took it, but I took it wrong, that was my mistake.
so based on what you just read, I think we leave development standards for LI, we leave it in the OI, the C and the CE, and we even put a D for the GI, the general industrial.
I think so too.
I would say the accessory uses and structures, the first one in the list, I would say that'd be permitted use for the GI as well. Cemetery, I don't think you would have that in light industrial or general industrial. Communication tower, that would be a special use even in the general industrial. Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Emergency shelter, private,
Permitted.
yeah. So everybody agree permitted for GI? Home occupation, that's pretty self-explanatory, we're not gonna have that in the OI, CE, or LI, or GI. Satellite dish antenna, small.
What is that? What's a satellite?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just kidding, I'm just kidding.
That's sort of a thing of the past, aren't
I guess we get Starlink.
they? Yeah. So I would say that's permitted use in the GI. Signs, advertising, it says see Article 7. Is anybody, y'all want me to read what it says in Article 7? Let's go look at that.
smog?
It's basically just telling you what you can and can't do. If you set up a sign, how long it can
Yeah.
run, the lights can be on, all that. It's just basically.
Oh, is that what it
setting
said?
up a
Yeah,
sign.
it's multiple pages.
It's
Okay.
basically just telling you how you can set up signs, the way I take it.
Alright, permitted
Yeah.
for GI. Swimming pool, you're not gonna have swimming pool in LI and GI. Agriculture production crops. We had it permitted in the light industrial.
Don't you have to permit that in any of them? I don't think you can deny me any.
Evidently, because there's a
Is it?
P in every one of them.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna put a P in, I mean, we'll go ahead and do a P. I think you're right. Agriculture production livestock, that's development standards for, all residential, the RA, RAE, R1, R2. Animal, livestock, and veterinary services, that was, development standards for industrial, so I would, does everybody agree that we would do development standards for general industrial?
Okay, didn't you say the general industrial was more like it was beside a railroad or
Well,
a adverse effects on the?
Yeah.
see, accommodate a wide range of assembling, fabricating, manufacturing, processing, storage, and distribution uses, including rail-served industrial operations and bulk material handling activities.
I wouldn't think
What
so.
about a slaughterhouse?
I mean, I still think that would be light industrial.
But that says
Everything would be
excluding.
enclosed inside the,
It says
Well,
excluding
it
outright
does.
animal and slaughtering.
Excluding exotic animals and slaughter.
Mhm.
That's not spelled right.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of any large scale industrial animal livestock service, and I can't really think
I
of
can't either.
except for a slaughterhouse, which it excludes.
So I say we leave that out of general industrial. Everybody would agree with that? Animal specialty veterinary services excluding, I say we leave that out as well. Farm stand. That wouldn't be, it's not in light industrial. So we wouldn't have it in general industrial. Fish hatchery. Forestry, I would say that would be a permitted use.
Next section is such political.
Yeah, industrial and manufacturing uses, aircraft parts. So what we gotta do is we gotta look at the LI and the GI. So if we look at the LI and we see that it needs to change, then, so aircraft and parts, that's gonna be all within, inside a facility. So I would say that would be, stay a permitted use, that would be light industrial. It'd be like a, example that I could come up with would be Honeywell in Rocky Mount. That's they make aircraft parts all inside. For general industrial, I would say that would be a permitted use. Everybody agree with that?
I think all the industrial manufacturing uses will be permitted.
Yeah.
that's a good point. Are any of these industrial and manufacturing topics that would not be permitted in one?
The only one I'm looking at now is boat and shipbuilding.
Yeah. But I mean, still, it just depends on the footprint. I mean,
Yeah.
like if you're, again, if it's like, if you just build like a really small metal building and you're building, tiny little boats inside of it, like rowboats, versus,
It'd
you have a large manufacturing company with massive, 20, 30
If it's
foot.
gonna be, I mean,
it just depends.
I know this is categorized together, but shipbuilding, I mean, that'd be close to the water, so. So does everybody agree the ones that are on page 13 would be permitted use in the GI? Alright. Alright, page 14. We'll go down the list. Yeah,
Except for like the heavy construction, would that be the same as the development standard for the heavy construction?
I think so for having, buffering. Everything else on there that I see.
What about the manufactured housing?
Yeah.
Building?
So obviously, they would be manufacturing, and then we'll use I think it's Clayton Homes. They manufacture the houses
Yeah.
inside, but then they store them out in the yard. So we may need to have development standards for those two. Does everybody agree development standards for LI and GI for that?
Yeah.
That's on manufactured housing, you said?
Yep, manufactured housing and wood buildings, 2450. Both of those would have development standards.
And you're saying all the other ones on that page would be permitted in LI and GI?
Yes. I don't see any others that.
So like motor vehicle parts and accessories, that wouldn't be considered a junkyard, right?
No, in manufacturing.
Yeah, that would
Okay,
be manufactured.
gotcha.
Yeah. All right, is
Yeah.
everybody good with page 14?
Mhm.
All right, moving on to 15. Printing and publishing. I think all of those in the first use would be permitted. Does everybody agree with that? All right, institutional and educational uses. Let's look at the ones that are already in light industrial. College, university, and technical institute.
No matter college.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it would be in light industrial.
Yeah, I'm trying to sit here and think of.
Not this is like NASCAR school or something, I mean,
I don't know of any colleges tied to any kind of industry.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of is like Nash Community has their lineman program, and I mean, it can spill out like that, but I I mean, what is the likelihood of that happening?
Okay, let's see.
So it's special use, so they would have, if it's something unique, they would have to come before town.
Says universities and colleges may be classified under or adjacent to light industrial zoning due to their role as large-scale operational knowledge factories that function under economic engines. This classification is often driven by their intensive land use, on-site infrastructure, labs, data centers, and the production of industry-ready technical training. And that goes back to what you were saying about the linesman.
Sorry about that. So a reminder to take some medicine.
I go back to remind us.
Yeah. Fortunately, I've reached that point now. So does everyone think we need to do put out special requirements for that in general industrial? Same as we got it in light industrial?
Yeah.
Alright. Daycare center, adult and child. We have that in industrial for development standards. I don't, that doesn't kind of make sense, but. Let me use this. Look up daycare. Well, I take that back. That does make sense. If you got a large company, they have on-site daycare with employees with their kids. I don't know if we've got care center. I don't find a match. Adult. I don't see anything in our current ordinance as far as daycare center or adult or child, but we've got to have something. We've got development standards. I don't know.
There it is right there, it's page 33. Daycare center, child or adult with institutional educational use. This section applies to facilities regulated by the state of North Carolina. Security fencing, outdoor activities for children shall be enclosed by a security fence at least 4 feet in height and located outside the yard area facing access roads. Center on site greater than 3 acres shall have access to collectible thoroughfare roads from 8 AM to 6 PM is your operation, and it talks about the parking.
Okay. I don't know why it didn't come up on the computer, but you know, appreciate your time on that.
We're required all residential and I districts.
Yeah, all residentials and I districts.
So everybody agrees to, we've got development standards in ILI, we would do development in GI.
Yeah.
All right. Fire station, definitely be permitted. Coming on down to law enforcement station, it's permitted in LI, so we would, don't see why we wouldn't allow it in a GI zone. Post office is permitted in LI, so. School administration facility. It's permitted in industrial. Everybody agree to GI?
Yeah.
Alright, moving into recreational and entertainment uses, athletic fields. We got development standards for LI, so I would say we would keep it in GI as well. Carnivals and fairs, nonprofit temporary outdoor events is permitted in commercial, C, LI. Everybody agree permitted in GI? Concerts, stage shows, nonprofit, we've got it permitted for industrial or light industrial. Everybody agree to permit that in general industrial? Alright, moving to page 16. The only item we have on this page, and I know why we did this, because those type of businesses are unfortunately granted by right. You can't deny them. So as long as you allow them in a district far out away. But we also have special use on that.
So we don't add that to GI.
You don't think so?
No, let's keep it. I mean, like the description of GI would be things where you would have outdoor storage. I mean, do you want do you want that in this category?
Yeah. So everybody agree, just leave it where we got it in light
Yeah, it
industrial?
would have to be in the area enclosed, like that description says.
Alright, page 17, we didn't have anything listed for, light industrial for these items, so nothing I see there that we need to adjust. So page 18. So the first one is we had allowed in the industrial was accounting, auditing, bookkeeping, administrative and management services, and advertising outdoor services. They were all permitted. You want to see any reason why we shouldn't permit those in general industrial? Alright.
I have one that I want to mention before you go past it.
Okay.
On the beauty shop, excluding tanning salons, which are not permitted in Maymar. I know we have at least one beauty salon that's in the RAE district.
Okay.
And I was going to suggest putting it as permitted, but I mean, that's up to y'all.
So.
Or if you want to just keep overlooking it, she has one, I mean, whatever you want to do.
I see.
Oh,
I got
yeah, I
you.
see what.
I mean, we permit them in the OIC and CE, but I know there's at least one in the ETJ.
Mm-hmm.
There may be other ones that I don't know about, but I know there's at least one.
So we can.
I was just thinking while we're doing it, that way we wouldn't.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's one of the, I see that as no different than clothing alterations or repair. It's something that you run out of your house.
Well, I mean, there used to be a lady that did that right over there on Franklin Road.
Has no
It's,
impact.
what was her name, Graham Fraser's mama.
Evelyn Fraser.
Evelyn, thank you.
And what was it that she did?
She did, mending of clothes. She
Oh,
did seamstress.
I mean, I think barbershop should be in the same situation. Whatever we decide for beauty shop, be the same for barbershop.
I just noted there, there's at least one.
Mhm.
And y'all know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I go there often.
I mean, I do too. I mean, that's what I'm saying. And there may be others. That's the only one I personally know about. But, But I agree. If you do, then we would need to do barbershop also. But then that opens it. I mean,
You know what page the development standards are on,
one second.
just so we can take a look at it?
I got you. There ain't one in here for that.
No.
No. I did try to go back and look for that, and she said that, I didn't find one.
Yeah, I just searched. I mean, I did find this. Let me put this up.
I guess it would be under home occupation.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Under
If you
home
look,
occupation, it says beauty salons and barbershops.
Oh, it
it
does.
says
Okay.
permitted home occupations include but are not limited to office services, sales, marketing by telephone, computer, in-home, daycare, beauty salons, and barbershops, and similar services.
And it says home occupation is all residential districts.
But it's not on the table of uses,
That's weird, yeah.
so we need to fix those two line items.
So it would be RAE.
Well, really,
It says
on the-
all residential
according to the
districts.
book, it's all residential districts.
I mean,
Home occupation,
It is. It says home
so
occupation.
really we need to put things all the way across the board for barber shop and beauty shop, wouldn't you think so?
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
if you get a barber shop, it's gonna be down at Pete's. Cause Tracy might set up a barber shop right at the back. Stay home these days,
And like,
cause he's a barber.
so we're gonna put P all the way across the
So
board,
everybody agree with that? With P's for
barber shop.
barbershop, beauty shop, and
Is there any other ones?
That's what I was
That's
looking at,
not
too.
cleared off here?
What are you talking about, home occupation?
yeah,
Office
we'll have to look.
services, sales and marketing by telephone, in-home daycare, beauty salons, barber shops, and similar services.
it has a strictly prohibited section of home occupations
Yeah.
too.
Let's see.
I mean, I think the clothing alterations and repair, we should probably make that all residential too.
Mhm. That's already permitted in R and RAE.
I don't see why
I
they
don't see one.
fall under home occupation.
So is everybody,
Computer maintenance and repair, it specifically says, oh no, it says,
Yep,
that's,
it does, permitted occupations, by
but,
telephone or
yeah,
computer.
that's marketing by
Yeah,
telephone
okay,
or
never mind.
computer.
But it doesn't read in the strictly prohibited section, that either.
Let's see. Alright, so clothing alteration and repair, we all in agreement to, that we would permit that in the R1, R2, RMH.
escalated computer maintenance as it is, or?
I think we need to leave computer maintenance like it is. That's gonna be more, you know, like structure, commercial district.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's different. It's like me just fixing computers in my house for people versus an actual business. Like what the barber shops and stuff like that is like a standalone business that's operated in a house.
Mm-hmm.
I think the computer maintenance and repair and computer services is more like computer business.
Right.
Different than like a whole. Yeah, I say leave it.
So, kind of back, the barber shop, beauty shop, and the clothing, would we allow that in the residential mobile home, the RMH?
It's tough to say. It says all residential districts for home
I was
occupation.
gonna say, you're gonna have to, because you got
Yeah.
all residential districts.
Alright.
Or either we would have to change
Yeah.
the districts that it's allowed.
Sure. So we're all in agreements, we would do permitted use for all residential districts for clothing alteration or repair and beauty shop and barber shop. Everybody good with that? Alright. Looking at the computer maintenance and repair, if you look at that, it's permitted in industrial and computer services, so everybody good with it being in general industrial? Moving down to equipment repair, light, that's permitted in, light industrial, everybody agree, general industrial? And then furniture refinishing permitted in light industrial and general industrial. Alright, moving to page 19. Lawnmower and small engine repair. General industrial.
Yeah.
Massage establishment and adult, just leave that as is.
I say nothing.
Okay, we got it, we, by right, we have it in one district. Medical and dental laboratory. Motion picture production, permitted. And, photo finishing laboratories permitted in LI, so I would see why we wouldn't permit it in GI. Refrigerator and large appliance repair, research, development, and testing services, taxidermist, so we can't knock out a bunch here, truck driving school, veterinary laboratory, school, vocational, business, and secretarial. Everybody agree we permit those in GI? Alright, transportation warehouse, so we got, bulk mail packaging, communication and broadcasting facilities, moving and storage services, and then tower communication special use, so we would have all that be the same. Page 20. everybody agree that all the ones we have permitted in LI, we do the same thing? I'm just gonna look through and see if any jump out that don't make any sense. There is one that has a utility-related substation that's got development standards. We would keep that the same. Permitted everywhere else. Alright, everybody agree? Everything's the same as, LI, alright? We'll move to page 21, everybody ready with that? See, does everybody agree that we make permitted use for the GI for the items that are already in LI? There is one business development plan and then sweepstakes cafe, their special use. And then we got temporary emergency construction repair residence.
I mean, do we wanna not add it for the sweepstakes cafe?
We just have it in one area.
Just have it in LI, not do GI?
Yeah,
I think it's the same thing, like I don't wanna.
yeah, it's not. One I don't, that temporary emergency construction and repair residence. I don't know, we got that in. I guess that could apply to the, caretaker dwelling. If something happens, they got a temporary, I don't know about that one.
That's just gonna distract me.
Temporary construction, storage of office, real estate, sales, and rental office.
So the sweepstakes, we're gonna just stay, keep it in
Like-
LI. Everything else we're gonna match what's in LI. Everybody agree with that? Alright, I didn't know if we would get through that tonight, but I appreciate everybody being prepared for that. We will probably revisit development standards on something else later on, but for right now, we've got the LI and the GI, taken care of. One last thing we're gonna jump to, Sheila pulled something for us related to temporary outdoor events. It's in the folder that she got. So let's take a look at that. So currently, section 31.12, carnivals, fairs, festivals, temporary outdoor events within recreational and entertainment uses. That's our current ordinance, and then it's suggested that down here to add to all districts, we're required nonprofit 501c3s, no permitting required if the event lasts no longer than 2 days. General statute 130A 250. So I'm gonna look up that general
I
statute.
put you a copy of it.
Oh, you did?
And highlighted it.
Alright, let me find that.
Look at
It is
you,
stapled.
that's what,
Hey, when I saw that, I was like, bam, I'm gonna make that Colleen be happy. It's exactly what I thought. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Alright, here we go. Nonprofit organization. food service. A nonprofit organizations such as churches, fire departments, and private clubs are exempt from obtaining permit to sell food pursuant to General Statute 130A/250. These groups can sell food in conjunction with a fundraising event for a period of no more than 2 consecutive days once a month. For example, if a church sells barbecue chicken on Friday and Saturday, they will not need a permit. However, if they choose to have another fundraiser on the last Saturday of the same month, they will have to obtain a permit for a second event. Sheila, definitely appreciate you pulling this up. Glad that there is a general statute to address that.
So are you suggesting just replacing that entire 31.12
What I'm
section?
suggesting is removing carnival festivals and fairs from the title
Love that.
and just put temporary outdoor event, and it's permitted in all districts. And I put in the part of nonprofit 501c3, no permitting required if the event lasts no longer than 2 days, and a reference to general statute. If it's a profit for a profit, the permitting is still required for the outdoor event. The hours of operations, I didn't change. The amount of noise, I didn't change. Anything about the parking, I didn't change. But I figured that would
Love that.
cover the Royalton Club, so they didn't.
And the church
Well,
will do a
it'll-
lot of
It'll
events.
cover the church,
Yeah.
it'll cover, now, I will tell y'all, it will cover the food bank when they have their little events, even though she has come and got her permits.
That's fine.
It'll cover the church, it will cover the Royaltons.
It'll cover all the churches.
Any nonprofit, any
Any of
nonprofit.
the churches we have. We got 3
Right,
churches.
any
We
nonprofit.
have 3 churches within our community.
Yeah, I love that.
I didn't think that was a bad find.
I think that's a great. very good.
So this will be the last thing, and then we'll figure out our next meeting. Is everybody in agreement that we go with the suggested revision related to carnivals, fairs, and festivals that will cover the nonprofit? Is everybody good with that? Any discussion on? Alright,
Going, still didn't have a section for carnival fairs and festivals. Just eliminate it.
The temporary outdoor event should cover. I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know about that part.
There shouldn't be many permanent carnivals there. So like any time there is any type of outdoor event that's not permanent, it would be covered by that.
I just knew there was a lot of contention
Like it's way more generic in
about
other
the
words.
permit thing, and I was just
Temporary
trying to
outdoor
get it.
event covers
It covers a lot.
any temporary outdoor event.
That's nonprofit. That's a nonprofit.
Well, I mean, no, like the temporary outdoor event section would cover everything.
Right,
For
right,
profit or
yes,
without for
yes,
profit.
yes.
That's what I'm saying, like any carnival event, anything like that, any parade or anything.
Yeah, and, we have
Everything,
community
you know.
day, if we have
Yeah,
community day,
exactly.
or,
If the fire
the
department wants to do
prayer,
an
where we're gonna do
outreach,
the National Day of Prayer,
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't have to.
if the fire department wants to do
It'll alleviate a
something.
lot of permitting. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? It'll alleviate a lot of headache of all that. I'm for it personally.
yeah.
We'll look up one thing, but has anybody got anything else they're thinking about? I wanna look up about the carnivals, fairs, and festivals, see if do we need to read that, or? wanted to see what the county has.
I looked that up too, but I didn't bring it. I honestly can't remember what it said.
You know, you're supposed to, what, could like in the, well, no, I guess it doesn't change. I was gonna say, could a person decide they wanted to have a carnival in the front yard, or just have a carnival and not require permitting?
If it's an
It was for
individual,
profit, they still have
If
to
it's
get a
for
permit.
profit, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I guess
The town of Nashville, Brian, says it requires a street and special event permit for carnivals, fairs, and festivals which must be sponsored by a local government, civic group, nonprofit, or business. Commercial carnivals are limited once a year for up to 5 days, with similar festival fairs are restricted to 4 times per year for up to 3 days each year. That's Nashville. And then it talks about street closures and all that kind of thing.
But I mean, a carnival would still fit under these revisions. Like,
is a temporary.
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, like a
I don't know if
temporary,
we necessarily have to define what a temporary
Yeah,
outdoor
it's,
event
a
is.
temporary event is way more general than,
Let's see if we
I
got a
thought she
definition.
They got carnival.
yeah, that's what we're saying. He was asking if we still needed to keep that in there
We can look in our definitions.
and have the outdoor events.
Let's see, Nash County temporary outdoor event generally refers to a short-term gathering activity such as outdoor religious event, temporary construction, storage, similar uses not permanently located on site. Specific uses and outline.
Let's see, we got a definition for a temporary outdoor event.
A temporary outdoor event is generally defined in municipal ordinances as a short-term organized gathering or public or private property, such as festival concerts, tent sales, or carnivals that is not part of the site's normal permanent land use. This event typically requires a temporary use permit to address the impact of traffic, parking, safety, and neighboring properties.
And you're reading that from, is that from our ordinance?
No, that's from a legal publication.
So what I think, and y'all see if y'all agree with this, that we add a definition. We leave it temporary outdoor event, but we add a definition in our definition defining that a temporary outdoor event can be some of what she read, a carnival, fairs, festivals, some of the other things she mentioned.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, there is temporary event on page 177.
Is it?
We don't say outdoor, it just says temporary event.
Okay, so maybe we can, is that in the definitions?
Yes, and the document is what y'all gave me.
Yeah.
Gave
That's so much here, and I tried to search, but it didn't come up.
It says, An activity sponsored by a governmental, charitable, civic, educational, religious, business, or trade organization, which is infrequent in occurrence and limited in duration. Examples include arts and crafts shows, athletic events, community festivals, carnivals, fairs, circuses, concerts, conventions, exhibitions, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Trade shows, holiday displays, special promotions, horse shows, outdoor religious events, and other similar activities.
That's
Wow,
great.
cover.
Just add the
So-
word outdoor.
Yeah, just add the word outdoor and I think we'll have it. Is everybody,
Yeah, Yeah.
in agreement with that?
good fun.
It's really good late at night. I see that.
Alright, so everybody's in agreement with the suggested revision with adjusting the definition to say temporary outdoor event. Everybody good with that? Alright, so let's talk about our next meeting. Typically we have it on Tuesday night, but I wanna see if Josh, I know we are adjusting it to allow you to see.
I missed the softball game tonight.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, there's no good night. No, Levi's gonna be, when's the proposed?
Well, when you have more than one, you have a different night for each one.
So our next meeting would be, on Tuesday night would be May 26th.
Yes, he's supposed to be done with baseball by then.
Okay, May 26th is the day after Memorial Day. Everybody good with that, 6:30? Okay,
I'll put them in your phone, I put them in my notebook.
yeah, go ahead and add it.
And I go home and I put it on the big one on the table.
6:30 again?
Yep, everybody good with 6:30?
So I wanna ask a question.
Okay,
We never come to a conclusion on the storage
And
bins
that's,
or containers,
that's
right?
no, we've
Okay.
we've
I
tabled,
haven't heard from.
yeah, we've tabled that because we wanted to see what Nashville was gonna do.
Yeah.
You said it'd be May
until they even decided, right? Sheila?
He said it would probably be May,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, when I
I
started
might know by the next one.
when I started getting all this together and I started looking at what, because I try to make sure I try to gauge to have enough for us to go through in 2 hours. Because that's what we've been kind of running. We've been kind of running about 2 hours.
Okay.
And I was going to do some more research on shipping containers, to see what I could find out there. But by the time I gathered all this, I thought it's going to take the whole time to go through all this. And I
I'm
was,
impressed we got to the table and used it.
yeah, I didn't know how well that was going to go. We're still going to have to, so hang on to your development standards, hang on to the table of uses, because I'm sure as we go through, diving into some of the other stuff that
The top one's
No,
dark,
we'll,
one's already good.
we'll tackle some of those again. So,
No, but everything on that.
So, Sheila, is there any new business that you need to bring up? Okay. All right, well, if that's it, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
We make a motion to adjourn. So May the 26th at 6:30.
Yes, I got a motion to adjourn and a second from Pat. All those in favor of adjourning, by saying aye. All those opposed, there are none. Thank y'all for all digging into